raised to the exact amount that we raised the permit expenses. So those are gonna look different, they wash. Let's see here, taxes and administrative fees, I have it 410 and 165. Currently for this year, what we've collected, I put under the notes of 403 and 162. But our taxable value is gonna be going up 4 to 5%, so I think leaving it at 410 is sufficient. Nothing else really changed on that page. So our total estimated revenues there is $1,196,375. I also want to note that I put the earned interest at $130,000, and I didn't separate building fund account. I don't know why we have two separate ones that are commingled, so that's the combination of both. Under appropriations for board, we have the salaries and the compensation in lieu of pension. Those have both been increased to 3%. Did you update those?
Yeah, to reflect that.
That's really the only main thing on that one. Page 3, same situation for supervisor. However, we don't have a line or anything allocated if we want to set up anything for deputy supervisor. So that needs to be discussed tonight. Assessor equipment we increased for, I think that was BSNA charges.
Correct.
On page 4, under clerk, everything was just increased there, based on the discussions we had before. Board review fees we increased, well actually we kept it the same, I'm sorry, we only used 400, but we kept it at 1,500. Treasurer, we did the salaries and compensation for the deputy as well. Postage we increased 1,000. Consult fees we have under 2,000. And I'm not sure what's being allocated there. I'm assuming that we're just spreading out things with a lawyer amongst different accounts, because normally I have 500. And then equipment we kept at 500. We did raise the election general throughout that whole category to give us a total of $35,300 in preparation for the upcoming election.
3 elections.
Upcoming 3
Three
elections.
Yeah.
So November costs, well, we didn't pay for it because we got reimbursed, was about $10,000 just for November's
This last one.
Mineral County Community College. That was $10,000. So we're anticipating higher costs for August and November, because obviously last November was just one ballot style. For these upcoming August and November, there's anticipation of possibly being 11 different ballot styles.
You're kidding.
So
Wow.
we've increased.
What would those be?
We increased election worker fee because there's 9 days of early voting for both August and November, so I upped that by 2,000. The postage I did up by 1,000. I don't see us using all that, but just in case. The supply was at 7, I upped that to 9. Publication I kept the same. A lot of times we split the publication costs with Summerfield and Ida, so that helps. And then equipment I did, that was at 5,000, I raised that to 7,000.
And to go hand in hand with that, under revenues for election reimbursement, we did not increase that all from 500. We are gonna get stuff, so that can be increased, but right now it really doesn't need to.
We'll get reimbursed for the May election and that's it.
Okay, continuing on to Township Hall, IT services was raised 16.3, I think that was.
I didn't do that, I do think that Roger maybe did that in anticipation of, I'm not sure what.
Switching to the cloud probably.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna have to do that.
Yeah.
So that is it for page 5. On page 6, you'll see that Kenny has his maintenance at $47,000 for the cemetery. Fire department payroll, it's been around between 180 and 190 the last couple years, so we did bring that down to 250,000. And then on page 7, we took education from 25,000 to 15,000, so we reduced some there.
You're okay with that, right, Chief, with the
Yeah, we
classes?
talked about it, yeah. Don't know what kind of year we're gonna have. I'm telling you right now, we're getting hammered. I mean, we are getting hammered, so I'm doing my best to keep the wheels turning. We had a chief's meeting last night, and I'm obviously not the only department, discussions of nobody going to call Ida. They actually got their tit in the ringer with the med control because they haven't been responding to calls that night. So, man, it's, law says we have to, to keep our medical license, we have to respond. I can't guarantee that everybody, that, you know, we have our days, we have our moments, not very often, but once in a great while. And I don't hesitate to call another department, so, but that should work. I'll do my best to not have to put out anybody or try to attempt to put out anybody.
Yeah.
And other departments have talked about it, there's nobody to do this, that's the problem. All I'd be doing is robbing Ida guys, and they can't hardly fill those schedules over there, so.
Yeah,
Not
so
sure what
just
the answer
so
is.
the board knows, we're budgeting 300,000 the last couple of years, or last year, because of anticipation of potentially having to put some full-time guys on. As Chief just said, it's hard to find guys to fill that, so, I suggest we move it down to 250,000 to be more in line with what we anticipate. But that comes with the caveat that it's a moving target, because you don't know how many calls he's gonna get, we don't know how many responders will show up to each call, so, I'll work to put some monitoring in place of that, and as we go throughout the year, we'll be able to know, if that's an adequate amount or not.
We can always amend it.
We can amend it, yes.
Where we at, Miss Lisa?
Okay, so now we're on page 7. When you get to building inspector, plumbing, electrical, all the purple highlights are the exact changes that we made to the revenues, so we can't make money on it, we just have to offset the expenses. So nothing really notable on there. Actually, yes, there is. I think I increased, that's the next page, I'm sorry, page 8, I increased the planning commission meeting fees because I'm assuming we're going to be meeting a little more, so we raised it to 1,200. Thanks. And zoning, board of appeals, I increased that a little bit too, just so we will have wiggle room if we go over on planning commission and we don't know what's gonna come there. Page 9, drains at large. Last year we budgeted 6,400. This year the township portion that's due is 16,000. It fluctuates every year, so we just raised it to 10. And I believe, thank you. And then if you jump to page 10, there's a line that's transfer in, and it's a negative expense. That is the interest earned on tax funds. It has to be transferred in as an expense. I don't know why, that's just what I'm told has to happen. So we can anticipate about 70,000 coming in interest from tax funds.
The question on the fire insurance, just so I understand it, is that for like liability for the firefighters?
Carla will be able to answer that one better. Fire insurance and liability.
The fire insurance.
They
what does that
anticipated
cover?
last year 10% increase, but it was more like 15% increase.
What does it cover? Is it like liability for the firemen?
All of
or-
it, the trucks, everything.
Oh, the truck
Yeah,
insurance,
they break it down,
building, okay.
when they bill us, they do break it down, with
Okay.
it's kind of a combination of it all, and they said,
Now that number makes more
yeah,
sense.
last year, and again, we added 2 new trucks this year, so that's where we budgeted last year, and we were over budget because of that, but, yeah, it's everything.
Okay, that makes,
Yeah.
number makes a lot more
Yeah.
sense.
Okay. So after that, the net revenues of appropriations, we're looking at 77,000 of a net revenue. So we're looking good in the general fund with how we have things set up right now.
As long as everything flows to this.
As long as my math is right. I don't know.
So, do I read this correctly, that the beginning balance is 3,758,000, and the ending balance will be 4,022?
For this year, yes, that's probably gonna tinker a little bit when the auditor comes and does some entries, but with how it is setting right now for the general fund, yes,
So we're in the plus side.
we've been in the plus side.
We've always been conservative on budgeting.
You guys done very good, fiscally responsible. Yeah, we'll talk about some of those things and what we, should we maintain that fund balance, or there's a couple of things that we can do now to save ourselves money in the long run. and unfortunately, the fire department is still, with a 23-year-old truck.
24. But anyway, if we order one today,
Yeah,
we'll be here in 4.5 years.
exactly, so I think we need to start,
And the other problem with that, every year I get the phone call, hey, February, they're gonna go up 2%.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a
Well-
process, so.
it's 24-year-old now, it'll be pushing 30 years old if we pulled the trigger and ordered today. The problem is, I was just looking at some payouts on the two engines or the tanker and the engine that we just got. And I don't think that we could absorb another lease payment until we take care of one of them. So we'll talk about that, I'll put some numbers together and present to the board. So maybe that, while I'm happy to see that fund balance, I think we definitely will have a use for it.
Yes. Okay, so that is it for the general fund. If anyone has any questions, concerns. Leave, cemetery, perpetual care, improvement are three accounts that we don't really do anything with but accumulate interest. I handed those out at the last meeting. It's all the same. We have no expenses and the only income we have is interest, except for perpetual is 20% of cemetery sales. So there's really nothing to review there. The next would be the 22 fire millage, which was just handed out. It's notated as page 11. Taxes real, we budgeted 400,000. This year we're looking at what was just collected, 442. So we're being extremely conservative in this account. And we budgeted for equipment 340. Again, we can increase taxes real with the budget amendment if we need to increase the equipment, but as it sits, we're looking at $2,325 surplus at the end.
What's the millage up?
It's 10-year, 22, 32.
22?
When is the fire millage up?
It's 10-year for
Oh, was it 10-year?
22.
It's the road millage we got coming.
Yeah, that's next. Does anyone have any questions about that? You know, there wasn't really much
No, that's pretty much hand in mouth with what we bring in and what we can spend it on for as far as equipment.
yeah. Plus, I'd rather be very conservative with the taxes real coming in, because I don't know what's gonna be delinquent and how things are gonna plan out. Last one on that is roads, which is the last page, but page 15. We're budgeting 375,000 to come in. This year it was 432. We've been budgeting 375, I think, the past couple years. We have 512,000 for building projects. So again, it's showing right now that the net revenue would be $900 for the year, but we have room for budget amendments later on, because we have a lot of wiggle room with taxes.
That 515 you're showing here is what we've already approved, right, at the last meeting. Those are the maintenance projects for this year?
The 512 under appropriations, yeah.
Oh, 512, okay, I'm
Yeah.
looking up to the 515, I'm looking at revenues, okay.
So again, everything can be amended later, but as a starting point and our goal, that is a good start.
And this road millage will be on the election this year.
We need to get it started, yes, sooner than later.
And that'll be, what's your thoughts on that? Just asking for a straight up renewal? We're not trying to increase it on
Correct.
anybody, we're just asking for a renewal.
I think things have gone well with what we've brought in, and what we needed to do, so this is personally, I don't think we need to do an increase. I think a renewal would be.
Weren't you talking about rewording that somehow to pay other things?
Fire, I wanted to,
Oh, okay.
take
Never
22
mind.
fire and put it back
Yeah,
out there
okay.
and broaden the spending at no
Okay,
increase.
but we got a lot of time for that.
Well,
okay.
depends on how many fire trucks we gotta buy. but-
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
They were all out yesterday, out there all shiny, running, when I drove the road.
The electricians, they had ladders and they were taking down the lights inside. I didn't really want them to scratch your new truck.
I don't want them to either.
Well, that's another plus.
That's a boy.
That's another plus. We spent last year about 23,000 in utilities at the fire hall. And from what they told you on those LED lights, we should have a considerable cost savings in electricity.
Talk to Carla and keep track of it.
Yeah.
We did
How it
go over
goes.
budget this year by like 1,600. I just paid the last bill for this budget year, so
Hopefully we solve that.
I did, instead of the
Next year.
21.5, I think I did bump it to 23, in hopes that it'll still come under, so,
Hopefully, yeah,
They were fluorescent before?
they were
Yeah, that's gonna save you some money.
yeah.
How old is that building now? 25,
15.
15?
Okay, so before we move on from this, under the
Okay.
general fund on page 3, my little note about do we need to add anything to potential deputy supervisor salaries? That needs to be a discussion tonight, because that would have to be added as a line item for preparation for Tuesday.
You don't need a deputy, do you, Ron?
Probably.
What?
Probably.
Not?
Probably. No, no, there was no not there, Kenny.
There wasn't?
No. I don't know whether, that's open, right? So, history, precedents of the township, we have precedents of a deputy. I think Joanna absorbed it once Diane Reese was her deputy. She was Rollo's deputy.
Yeah.
But I think once that happened, she just started absorbing everything. So, I'm not certain at this point. I don't have enough knowledge, right? I've been here a month, so
Well, you
give me a
should-
bit.
you should know it all by now.
Yeah, give me a bit. With the fund balance that we're projected,
Yeah.
I don't see it being prohibitive if we have to amend it later. So we don't have to add it tonight. If we have to amend it later, it's not gonna be any more than the other deputies'
Yeah, there
salaries.
hasn't been a supervisor deputy in the 12, 15 years.
Yeah.
Don't see, we've done well without them, don't you know why?
Well,
we
it
need them?
depends on the workload of it, Jeff. You know, it was this data center shit.
Yep. So we'll play that by ear, but I think with the budget that we have in place with the revenue, at most it's gonna be 15,000, so I think if we have to amend later, we're not hurting ourselves.
When it comes to supplies, girls, the back sides of these can be used. Joanna and Janet used to run these back on the back side.
So normally I do, I'm not gonna lie, but I had already printed today,
I see some of them are.
because, yeah, anytime I can, I try to catch it, but I think because I just did accounts payable, I unclicked the button of printing on 2 sides, but I can't print checks on both sides, so my computer automatically defaulted to one side
We
printing.
have probably used a whole forest this
Uh,
last month
Probably,
or two
Mhm.
for
And it-
paper. I got a stack like that at home on my desk. One whole ream.
Well, we'll plant a tree for you.
Thank you.
Do you use the other side at home on your printer so that you?
I don't print anything at home. I hand scratch it.
I have double sided.
I don't have a printer.
I turned all those settings off, it stresses me.
Okay, where we at now?
All right, so do you wanna do Schedule A, Schedule B, or proposed salaries?
I have proposal A. I don't see B.
It's the 3rd page after
Three
A.
is Schedule B.
Oh, on here?
Yes, you go, no, on this, starting at 1, just go down. And the 3rd page is Schedule B.
So, yeah, we can start with Schedule
There
A.
it is.
See?
Okay, stand corrected.
On this, page 1 of Schedule A, you'll see the fireman per run was listed as $25 per run. It was basically just some name changes. We posted the vacancies. So we still have to fill the 3 spots in the planning commission, the zoning chair. Terms were for a year, so those have all been updated. Really nothing crazy on page 1. Page 2, the MTA County Chapter Delegate has Ron Charter listed as a friendly suggestion.
I appreciate you, Lisa.
Anytime. The attorney, we're adding Fahey's office, and the mileage reimbursement was 73 cents for the state. And then we have our normal notes on the bottom, so nothing really changed on those. Proposed Schedule B, we added IT services for Malmy Print and Graphics, what I think he's $100 a month plus projects at additional cost. The only thing that needs changed prior to the next meeting is the vendor, contract end dates and start dates. We have them still listed as 3/31/26.
Yeah.
So once those are renewed, those will all be updated if they're approved.
We have not gotten auxilios yet for,
He was there,
okay,
we walked him
all
through the
right,
building.
I didn't know that, so,
So,
hopefully I'll be getting something soon for library and
So, yeah, so on Tuesday, those,
hopefully.
under vendors, that's gonna be the only change you're gonna see is those dates.
On Schedule A, there has been, some ideas of, $25 per run for the firemen with, $50 per run over 2 hours. Do we wanna budget that? And just because we're putting it in the budget, don't mean it takes effect, it still has to have a board action to take effect, but do we wanna schedule it? Or budget it, just so we know kind of where we're at?
So when we're budgeting it, do you think it'll fall within that 250 that we have
Yeah.
there?
I think the money is okay.
Yeah, so we just want to put it on the schedule.
Yeah, over 2 hours at 50.
You mean just $50 extra after 2 hours?
$50
Total.
total.
There's another 25
Oh,
if it goes over 2 hours, so they
Okay.
get 50 instead of 25.
Okay.
I would support that.
So, yeah, for the call itself, if it's over 2 hours, it'd be a $50 call. If it's under 2 hours, it'd be a $25 call.
Versus right now, they could be on a call
But,
for
and they
7
can,
and still get the 23.
exactly, and they could be on a call for 7 hours and still get 50, but at least it's a step forward.
Yeah.
That we can do for them. And there's some, if the board chooses to go that way, there are some things that will have to be in the motion to be very specific about that, such as call start and stop time, so nobody's, no surprises, on what is or what isn't a 2-hour call.
under cemetery liaison, my term's not up in 27.
I just did it as a 1 year. I should have done 28. I'll change that to 28.
What about the fence viewer though? When's that in?
I wasn't gonna mention that.
Oh.
Fence viewer.
Oh, fence viewer.
Dan, are you still okay having your crew clean for you out there? Or you're okay with that?
Yeah,
Okay,
we're getting by.
all right.
So, you know,
I just wanna make sure.
Thanks a lot, Ron. Thanks for mentioning that about the fence viewer.
You don't like that?
I don't.
So
I think
just
it's
expiration.
it's funny because I never heard that term before I started this, so interesting.
Yeah. Okay. We done with those?
Yeah, so yeah, just to recap then, the commission expiration dates and the over 2 hour pay is gonna be the only changes on these forms.
I think that's good.
Oh, and precision, roadside mowing, precision irrigation, that was just for the 1 year at that price. So I'll correct that as well. We agreed on just that 1 year.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, the mower and all those
Yeah.
guys is all 1 year, the snow removal.
And it-
Okay, so last,
Instead of 3 years, we're just gonna do 1.
What's that?
Instead of
We
3
did,
years, do
we
1
voted
year.
on just a 1 year contract with the new price he gave us, just to see how it plays out and how it looks.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
He reached out and guys,
we still have him listed for fire hall, mowing, snow removal still on.
1 year or 3.
They just signed 1 year,
1 year,
even,
okay.
even American Turf only did 1 year, I don't know what Bill, if he wanted to, he just did a 1 year.
He reached out to me and I told him I'd check and get back on. I'll tell him if he wants anything changed on it, I'll have him.
We got his
Okay.
quote, I got his
Yeah.
quote.
But it was just for 1 year.
Okay.
If he wants it for 2 at that price, great, he'll just have to send me an updated copy.
Well, he raised 5%,
I know, everyone,
Yeah.
and the mowing man
everything's
raised
going on.
3%.
Yeah. Cost of living.
Where we at now?
So now we're on township salaries. I believe Carla handed out the 25-26 sheet, and then the one with the yellow highlights is what we're proposing. So you can kind of see a side-by-side comparison. We did the 3%, mostly across the board. Supervisor, clerk, treasurer, trustees, deputy clerk, deputy treasurer. Assessing stayed the same. Assessing assistant and clerical stayed the same because we don't have anybody for that. We raised based on minimum wages. We just threw $14 an hour in for a deputy supervisor, clerical help, and receptionist. Which again, we don't use it, but it's there. We had to keep it. And then we have the firemen at 25 per call per run, which we will add the 50 per 2 hours. Ordinance officer stayed the same. And the only other notable difference is at the bottom, it says any federal holiday that is observed on a regular operating business day of Monday through Thursday will be paid. Hourly employees will be paid a minimum of 6 federal holidays annually. And those are listed on the left, and that's solely because they always fall on a Monday or a Thursday. It's MLK Day, President's Memorial, Labor, Columbus, and Thanksgiving. Then we listed 5 that are gonna be based on observance, and that's New Year's Day, Juneteenth, Independence Day, Veterans Day, and Christmas Day.
I have a problem with that.
And I don't think any of those fall on a day that we're open in session.
Yeah, well, it's the way that it rotates, at some point they are.
Yeah, no, I don't think this upcoming year.
Financially, for 2 people, for the 2 days, for that extra anywhere from 1 to 5, it's not an issue.
It is with me.
Yes.
Moral issue or financial?
Financial. I just don't think anybody should get paid for days they don't work.
Well, I think if we're normally open and we're told we cannot come in and work a federal holiday, then they should get paid. I tried working Juneteenth last year and I was strictly told you cannot be in this
Who
building.
told you that?
It was when Joanna was still here.
Oh.
And she's like, you can't pick and choose. If we're closed, cause it's a federal holiday, we're closed.
But you're just adding more cost. You know, we talk about being conservative and then
We are still being very conservative.
and I think Laura Nevers, your deputy, should be higher than she is, be honest with you. She does work for the fire department and us.
She does.
Oh, I don't disagree with that at all. We've just given the same percent raise every year. If we wanna pay her more, I am not going to complain about it.
Well, I just
She
think
is an
she is, I
asset.
think she's worth more.
She is.
Well, why is she different from Paula?
So her starting date, so
Yeah.
when they started at X amount of dollars per hour, then 3% raise over the years,
Yeah.
that's just where she sits now.
Yeah.
And Paula's been here longer, so.
How long's Laura been here?
I couldn't tell you.
Since before my time.
She was here all the time Linda was here.
No, she wasn't. I worked for
I was
Linda.
gonna say, Nancy worked there.
Well, you may,
Normally when you
well,
get
let's
to
put it this
stage-
way, all the time I've been here.
Like-
You've been in there.
Like, you know, federal government, you're a G this or a G7 or a G8, you know, you go up and then you reach a platform. They should both be at the same platform if she's been here that many years.
Great, let's bump her up to 2021. Just
She
like-
won't object to it.
What do you mean? Paula's getting 2082.
If
Oh, 2082, I'm
we
sorry.
agree with the 3% increase.
I can't read.
But she's already got that on this.
I
She's
agree.
$20.21 per hour as of right now.
And so she's gonna be bumped up to 2082, and so we can put Laura at 2082.
I think that's a good idea.
Is that what's gonna happen with the deputy for the supervisor?
I'm sorry?
Deputy for the supervisor gonna get the same treatment?
Will they get the same? They'll get
They
fair
have to come in.
treatment. Let's just
minimum
say
wage.
that. I mean, we don't even know if we're doing a deputy. It's
I
a,
just wanted you to think about it.
yep, understand. I appreciate it.
Now, with that, with change, which I love that, I am going to wanna increase my budget of 15,000 for her.
Yeah. Yes,
So,
we will.
I'm going to.
How many hours a week she work?
Let's-
24?
Some months she doesn't work but 2 hours a week, and other months she's here all
Every
day,
day.
every day, so.
Paula's
It's not
here
big.
all day, every day.
I'd rather pay her more than I would pay for holidays, to be honest. with you.
Alright, I say let's just bump her up to 22,000, cause that's what we budget
22
for
what?
her line item.
Oh,
Right now I have her budget at 15. Deputy clerk is 22,000. I'll just bump it up to 22. I think that'll be a safe bet.
Even if she works half time, 20 hours a week, it's only costing us
We may have to pay these by
$23.
Yeah,
separate water.
I'm gonna raise
I don't
it to
think so.
22 and
You
we'll
don't
keep
think
it
so?
in
I don't
line her
think so.
and, okay.
Okay. I don't know.
she does quite a bit of work for you, doesn't she, Dan?
Yep, when I need her, she's always there. So-
Now, does that come out of your payroll or out
Of
of?
course it does. I would not expect you guys to pay for, anything
So-
out of my budget.
When Laura gives me her timesheet, she tells me what hours she has worked in the township and what hours she has worked for the fire department. Same with Paula. She gives me hours she's worked in the township, and then she'll say 10 of those hours go to building department. She
Okay, so they.
does
separate.
all the building permits as of
She
right
didn't
now.
tell you what, you know.
So we'll increase her expense to 22,000 for the year. So I think it's $7,000 difference, still gives us a nice little revenue here, and up for $20.82 an hour.
That will be effective after the budget's approved after our meeting,
Yes.
right?
I think that's fair.
I do.
Perfect. And then at the bottom, above those other 5 holidays, I put based on observance, because that's what it would be based on, so.
So what you're saying on those 5, if they're on Monday through Thursday, then
Yes,
they're
so
paid.
if they're
Otherwise, they're not.
observed on Friday, no,
No.
or if they're not technically observed Monday through Friday, but, they're gonna definitely get paid 6 holidays per year, and then just possibly up to 11.
6 ain't as many as school teachers.
So the only one out of that is Veterans Day, which is November 11th for 2026.
I had a
New Year's
calendar
Day-
made out, a projected one, but I did not bring
New
it.
Year's Day is a Friday, and so no, none of them fall within.
Some years it's really only gonna be 6, and then there might be a couple years where it,
So there's your
Might be
6
11, but-
paid annually along with
5 possibly.
Veterans Day, and that is it.
And that is all I have.
Nice one, please.
You're here.
You know my old saying, what's coming in and what's left. I don't care where you put it in between, I wanna know what's at the bottom line.
Yeah, I think
And, and you've got that.
we're doing okay.
We're making money.
I don't know about that, cause my experience with budgets is they never last all year,
No.
going the way they are. There's gonna be something that
Oh,
pops
there'll
up.
be an exception.
There'll be something that pops up and bites us,
Yeah.
which, the good news is we got that, we
Cushion.
planned it so that we have that cushion. I think this board's been very fiscally responsible.
They've been that way for a long time here.
Yeah.
Long time.
I don't know.
Motion to adjourn?
Support.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay.
Second.
The new rescue truck is getting stripes put on it in the next day or two, and should be in service here within the next week or 2.
That new one?
What are you taking, I don't remember the numbers anymore, Chief, taking the old rescue and just moving it to a secondary?
Yes, that would be 22